हमारे साथ में लुधियाना के जो भारत में राजदूत हैं जूलियस प्रानेविचुस, वो मौजूद हैं, उनसे हम बात करते हैं. सर, माय फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन टू यू इज दैट हाउ डू यू परसीव रशियन threat or you call it Russian aggression basically in the Baltic region? How do you perceive it?
Well, of course, we condemn Russia's aggression towards Ukraine. It is unprovoked, it is unjustified, and it is brutal. So we condemn in the strongest possible way that.
Yeah, but do you also think that this may escalate up to the Baltic region also, because Lithuania is, though you are a part of the NATO, but you are also in the Baltic region, and Russia is very, I think, very close from your border.
Well, it is only for Russia to answer that question. What are the plans? But our situation is different. Lithuania is part of NATO, and actually that was the reason for us to join NATO. In 2004, that we felt that only being part of NATO would provide the security that was so needed in our region. And attacking any NATO country would mean attacking the whole bloc, because NATO is a defensive alliance, and if any country of NATO is attacked, it means that the whole bloc or every country is attacked.
Article 5 comes into the force.
Yes, Article 5 comes into the force, and that's why the situation is very different there.
Yeah. So there is one question about the nuclear threat, because your defense minister said that Russia has also deployed nuclear weapon in the Baltic region. They already have it. So do you find it as a threat for the existence of those nations who are just on the Russian, located on near the Russian border?
It is very difficult to speculate on that. Again, it's for the Russia to answer those questions. What are they planning to do? But of course, that's the scenario that everyone should try to avoid.
And one thing more, sir, we have also read such reports from the Lithuania that Lithuania is preparing the worst case scenario in case there is any invasion, just like happened in Ukraine. So Lithuania is already on the move. They are preparing citizens. They are ready for any sort of threat.
You see, we are in that region, and we always were, and the threat of Russia was always there. So we know our neighborhood, and we know the security situation we live in. As I was saying, our situation is very different, as we are part of NATO. And Lithuania relies very much on the NATO plans, how it plans to defend its member states. And since the Russia's invasion to Ukraine, those plans, they no longer call the plans to refrain Russia from attacking, but there is a plan how actually the bloc could be defended. So I think those plans will be reinforced.
So Lithuania is also suggesting Sweden and Finland to join NATO for the sake of safety.
You see, it's the same situation as with the Ukraine or with any other countries. It is up for Sweden and for Finland to decide on their foreign policy, on their security policy, and it's up for those countries to decide in which blocks they want to be. For us, we consider NATO to be a strong guarantee of the peace and of security and stability in the region. And as us neighbors of Sweden and Finland, we would very much like to see our region to be more secure and more safe. So we would welcome very much the decision of those countries to join NATO, if that decision will be made.
You will welcome that?
Yes.
Right. One more thing, sir. If because what happened in Crimea, what happened in Georgia, what happened in Ukraine, do you also find that Lithuania is also on the target list?
That's with all those questions, it's for the Russia to answer what are their plans. We have to be ready to defend ourselves. We are members of NATO. We are members of the alliance that is ready to defend its members. And I don't see any reasons why we have to be why we have to change any policies or why we have to change our stance on that.
So, if Ukraine comes into the NATO fold, in your opinion, there will be a guarantee that nobody can touch Ukraine. There won't be any losses. There won't be any further invasion in the Ukraine territory in case Ukraine joins NATO. In case the procedure is very long, it's not so easy.
If Ukraine joins NATO, then all the rules and all the regulations that apply for any other NATO member would apply to Ukraine as well.
Will Lithuania bat for Ukrainian membership to NATO?
We do support. We did support Ukraine's bid to become members of European Union and of NATO for a very long time. So there is no need for us to change our position. Again, as with Sweden, as with Finland, it depends a lot on the will of Ukraine itself, what kind of security alliances it wants to be.
One more thing, sir. In your opinion, if Ukraine is getting all required military help from the EU countries, European countries, from the USA, from the NATO countries, which Ukraine has been demanding, or it is insufficient, in your opinion?
Well, we see that the assistance to Ukraine is happening, and I think that's a right decision from other countries to support Ukraine in whatever means it can be supported, both from the humanitarian assistance and also in supplying weapons. We were strongly advocating that support should be bigger and that other countries would be more active in that. We see progress, and I hope that the process will continue.
Sir, I'm just reading one excerpt from the interview of your defense minister. He said that Russia already has nuclear weapons in the Baltic region, and they keep the weapon 100 kilometers from the Lithuanian border. He said about the nuclear weapon.
Yeah, so that's what he said.
So that is why I'm asking you, as he obviously said it, so that is why I'm asking if you find this nuclear threat as a very real one, if you look at the ongoing circumstances, if you look at the ongoing invasion, ongoing threat, if the nuclear threat is also very real?
Well, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, because you should ask those questions to Russia and to see how this threat is real. I'm only saying and repeating that that's the scenario that has to be avoided.
One last question, sir. I think Lithuania is the first country who has stopped Russian gas, importing Russian gas. What impact will it have on the other nations?
Yes, Lithuania was one of the first, or the first country in the European Union to stop imports of Russian gas, and that's the part of the overall sanctions towards Russia. I think European countries, and not just European countries, have to be have to show solidarity with Ukraine and have to show its discontent with the situation and with the behavior of Russia. The way how to show that is stopping Russia's gas or oil being imported. So if other countries will follow this suit, that would help the cause, and I think that would send even stronger signal to Russia to stop that aggression.
Right. So being the part of the NATO is a guarantee of your security. In a nutshell, you are saying.
Yes, that's why we were. That's why we are working hard to become members of NATO. You see, the whole process of NATO enlargement is very often. There's some misconceptions here in India saying that the NATO was expanding, then the NATO had some interest in that region, but actually being part of our foreign service for some time and remembering those days when we worked very hard to become NATO members, to become members of European Union, I can only say that it was very strong will from Lithuania's side, the same as our neighbors who joined NATO at the same time, to become members of NATO, because we felt that that's the guarantee of our security.
And the same, you have also said that the same parameter you are also advising to the Finland, Sweden, though their government have to take a call. It's a totally true. But you are also advising the same parameter for the guarantee of safety to Ukraine, to Finland, to Sweden, every other country.
If they were to ask for our advice, yes, that's what we would advise to them.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
Thank you.
तो हमारे साथ में लिथुआनिया के एम्बेसडर हैं, वो एकदम साफ कह रहे हैं कि ये जो नेटो के मेंबर हैं ये सिक्योरिटी की गारंटी है और इसीलिए उन दूसरे देशों को भी जिन पे खतरा है ये एडवाइस कर रहे हैं कि वो भी नेटो के फोल्ड में शामिल हो जाएं। कैमरामैन चेतन शर्मा के साथ अभिषेक उपाध्याय, भारतवर्ष, दिल्ली।